Be me. 29F, work for a big tech company. I get paid six figures to explain to man children why they can't make "that's what she said" jokes anymore. It's a living. My apartment is my sanctuary. Minimalist, clean lines, lots of white and grey. Tasteful art prints of abstract female forms on the walls. My friends say it looks like an art gallery. I say it's the physical manifestation of a clear and ordered mind. My dating life, however, is a Jackson Pollock painting. A chaotic mess that people pretend to understand, but nobody actually likes. It wasn't always like this. At least, that's what I tell myself. But lately, the quality of men on Hinge and Bumble has fallen off a cliff. It's a wasteland of men who think being fiscally conservative but socially liberal is a personality trait. And poly guys with bad beards who want me to meet their nesting partner. No thanks. I'm not interested in joining your quirky little trauma bond. Every date feels like a job interview where I'm the hiring manager and the candidate is woefully underqualified. Last week, went out with this guy. Josh. Seemed promising on the app. Photos from a protest, a bio that mentioned he was pro-choice. The bar for men is on the floor, but he seemed to at least be able to clear it. We meet up. He's shorter than his pictures, of course. Standard first date chatter. What do you do? Where are you from? I'm explaining a new unconscious bias training module I'm developing. I'm passionate about it. Talking about systemic issues, the importance of decolonizing the workplace syllabus. I look up from my spiel, expecting him to be engaged, maybe impressed. He's just staring at me with this glazed over look. He nods slowly. Wow, that sounds really intense. Then he changes the subject. So, you watch any of the MCU movies? I spent the rest of the date politely explaining how superhero movies are modern mythology, designed to uphold patriarchal power structures and glorify state-sanctioned violence. He just sat there, sipping his IPA. Huh. I just thought Captain America had a cool shield. I paid for my half and left. Blocked his number before I even got to my Uber. Get home. Pour a glass of expensive wine. I can't really afford. Text my group chat with my girls, Maya and Lena. Update. Another one bites the dust. This one couldn't even handle a basic critique of pop culture. Lena responds instantly. Ugh. Men are so fragile. They want a strong woman until she has an actual opinion. Maya chimes in. It's because they're intimidated. You're successful, smart, and you don't need them. That's terrifying to their little caveman brains. We go back and forth like this for an hour, validating each other, building the narrative. The problem isn't us, it's them. It's society, it's the patriarchy that hasn't prepared them for women like us. It feels good, it feels right. It makes the loneliness feel less like a personal failure and more like a noble sacrifice on the front lines of a culture war. I finish the wine, look around my perfect, silent apartment. I'm winning. I tell myself, this isn't about Josh though, this is about Alex. Alex was my big college relationship. We were together for almost 4 years. Back then, I thought he was the one. He was smart, but not in a showy way, studying engineering, but read philosophy for fun. He was kind, he listened. When I first started getting deep into feminist theory, he was supportive. He'd read the articles I sent him. He'd come with me to campus talks. He called himself a feminist. He seemed to get it. We were a team. Everyone said we were the perfect couple. We moved in together after graduation, a crappy little one-bedroom place, but it was ours, and that's when things started to change. Or maybe, that's when I started to notice things that were there all along. It started small. He'd come home from his new engineering job exhausted. I'd want to talk about some article I'd read, some new microaggression I'd witnessed, or theory I was working on. He'd try to listen, but his eyes would be unfocused. Can we just relax tonight, Mia? I had a really long day. Relax? The battle for equality doesn't take a day off. I told him his desire to relax was a function of his privilege. He had the option to check out. I didn't. That was the first time I saw him look tired. Not physically tired, a deeper kind of tired. He just said, "Okay, you're right," and went to play video games. A classic male retreat into a digital fantasy world where they have all the power. Other things started to pop up. He liked to cook, always did, but he'd make these big, hearty meals. Steak, roasted potatoes, stuff his mum used to make. I told him we should be more conscious of the gendered nature of food, that meat consumption is tied to toxic masculinity. I suggested we switch to a plant-based diet for political reasons and for health. He tried. For a few weeks. He ate the quinoa bowls and lentil stews I made, but I could tell he was miserable. One night I came home, and the apartment smelled like heaven. He'd secretly made himself a burger. We had a huge fight. It wasn't about the burger. I screamed. It was about him secretly defying the progressive values we were supposed to share. It was about his refusal to grow. He said, "Mia, it's just a burger." That was his go-to line. It's just a joke. It's just a movie. It's just a burger. He never understood that nothing is just. Anything. Everything is political. Everything is a text. The final straw was the emotional labor talk. I'd just learnt the term, and it was like a light bulb went on. It gave a name to the exhaustion I felt. The work of managing our social calendar, of remembering his mum's birthday, of initiating all our serious conversations. I sat him down and explained the concept to him. I had charts. I'm not kidding. I told him he needed to step up and take on his share of the emotional labor in our relationship. He looked at my charts, he looked at me, and he just shut down. He didn't get angry, he didn't argue, he just got quiet. "I'm trying, Mia," he said, his voice flat. I feel like I'm trying really hard, but it's never enough, is it?" "It's not about enough," I said. "It's about being an equal partner." "No," he said, shaking his head. "It's about me becoming a different person. It's about me becoming you." We broke up a month later. It was my decision. I told him I had outgrown him, that I needed a partner who was on my level, someone who would challenge me, not hold me back. He didn't fight it, he just packed his things and left. It hurt. Of course, it hurt a lot, but I told myself it was for the best. A necessary amputation. I was leveling up and he was still stuck in the tutorial. I hadn't seen him in 5 years. Fast forward to last Saturday. It's a beautiful autumn day, sunny, crisp air. I decide to go to the big farmers market across town. The bougie one, the one with $15 jars of artisanal honey and vegetables that look like they were grown by wood elves. I love it there. It feels like the kind of place I'm supposed to be. I'm wearing my favorite linen jumpsuit, looking effortlessly chic, carrying a canvas tote bag that says "Smash the Patriarchy." I'm buying some ridiculously expensive sourdough when I hear a laugh, a familiar laugh, a deep, easy laugh that I haven't heard in years. I turn my head, and there he is, Alex. He looks good. No, not good. He looks great. He's filled out. Not fat, but solid, broader shoulders. He's not wearing the trendy, slightly too tight clothes I used to pick out for him. He's in a simple flannel shirt, jeans, and work boots, the kind of outfit I would have once called aggressively normative. He looks comfortable, and he's not alone. His arm is around a woman. She's the opposite of me. She's got long, blonde hair and a simple braid. She's wearing a floral sundress and sandals. No makeup that I can see. A fucking tradwife? The living embodiment of everything I've spent my adult life fighting against. And then I see it. She's pregnant. Not just a little bump, she's very pregnant. My stomach drops. The artisanal sourdough suddenly feels like a rock in my hands. They're laughing at something the cheese vendor is saying. He leans down and kisses her temple, a casual, automatic gesture of affection. It's so intimate, it feels like I'm spying. I should just turn and walk away, pretend I didn't see them. But my feet are glued to the floor. And then he looks up. His eyes scan the crowd and lock with mine. Recognition dawns. His smile falters for just a second. Then it's replaced by a look of polite neutrality. "Mia," he says. It's not a question. The woman, the tradwife, looks at me. Her smile is warm and genuine. No hint of suspicion or jealousy. It's unnerving. "Hey, Alex," I manage to say. My voice sounds strained. He gestures between us. "Mia, this is my wife. Sarah." "Sarah, this is Mia, an old friend from college." "Old friend. Ouch." Sarah holds out her hand. Her grip is firm. "It's so nice to finally meet you," she says. "Alex has told me a lot about you." I bet he has. I bet he's painted me as the crazy feminist shrew who almost ruined his life. All good things, I hope, I say, trying for a breezy, sarcastic tone. It comes out sounding bitter. Alex gives a tight smile. "We were just picking up some stuff for dinner. Sarah's been carving apples like crazy." Sarah laughs and pats her belly. "This little one is demanding a crumble, I think." It's all so domestic, so nauseatingly normal. "So, what are you up to these days, Mia?" Alex asks the classic question. Here it is, my chance to show him what he lost, to show him how much I've accomplished. "Oh, you know," I begin puffing up my chest a bit. "I'm a director of DEI at a major tech firm. I lead a team that's focused on creating more equitable and inclusive outcomes in the industry. I wait for the impressed look, the flicker of regret in his eyes. It doesn't come. He just nods. Wow, sounds important. Good for you. His tone is so neutral, like I just told him I'm a bank teller. Sarah chimes in again. That sounds fascinating. It must be so rewarding to make a difference like that. She's so nice. I hate it. It is, I say. It's challenging work, dismantling centuries of systemic oppression, but someone has to do it. I'm laying it on thick. I want them to feel the weight of my importance. And you, Alex? I ask, turning to him. Still in engineering? I remember he hated his old job. The bureaucracy, the long hours. He shakes his head, a real smile finally appearing. Nah, I left that world a few years ago. I own my own custom carpentry business now. He says it with such pride. Carpentry. A carpenter. He was a top-of-his-class engineer with a six-figure starting salary, and he quit to become a carpenter? I mostly do built-in cabinets, bookshelves, that kind of thing, he continues. It's good. I get to work with my hands, be my own boss. Sarah beams at him. He's an amazing artist. You should see the cradle he built for the baby. My brain is short-circuiting. This is the man who I once had a 2-hour argument with about the ethics of gendered Lego sets. Now he's building cradles and talking about working with his hands. It's like he's regressed. A complete devolution. She's dragged him down. This floral dress-wearing, apple-craving breeder. She's turned him into a stereotype. A simple craftsman. A provider. Well, I say, my voice dripping with condescension. I can't hide. As long as you're happy, I guess. The smile on Alex's face doesn't waver. He looks at Sarah, then back at me. I am, he says. It's a simple statement, but it's delivered with a certainty that chills me to the bone. I really am. An awkward silence hangs in the air. Sarah, impossibly, is the one who breaks it. It was really lovely to meet you, Mia, she says, putting a hand on Alex's arm. But we should probably get going before all the good honey is gone. Yeah, we should, Alex agrees. He looks at me. Take care, Mia. And then they turn and walk away. He puts his arm around her, his hand resting protectively on her lower back. They lean into each other as they walk. A perfect fit. I'm left standing there, alone, holding my stupidly expensive bread. The tote bag on my shoulder suddenly feels heavy and ridiculous. Smash the patriarchy, right? I don't remember paying for the bread or walking back to my car. The next thing I know, I'm sitting in my driver's seat in the parking garage, just staring at the concrete wall. The rage comes first, a hot, white fire. How dare he? How dare he be happy? How dare he throw away his potential on a life so painfully conventional? And her. That woman, Sarah, with her placid smile and her fertile womb. She's a thief. She stole the intelligent, engaged, progressive man he was supposed to be and turned him into a lumberjack. I drive home in a daze. I get back to my apartment, my clean, orderly, quiet apartment. It feels different now. It's not minimalist and chic anymore. It's just empty. Cold. I throw the artisanal bread on the counter. I don't even want it anymore. I call Maya. I need the validation. I need the reinforcement. You will not believe who I just saw. I start. I recount the entire story, painting it exactly as I saw it. Alex, the sellout. Sarah, the manipulative tradwife who trapped him with a baby. Me, the picture of success and progressive values unfairly confronted with their smug heteronormative bliss. Maya gives me exactly what I want to hear. Oh my God, Mia, that's disgusting. He's peaked. He let a woman domesticate him. It's pathetic. You're so much better off without him. You're thriving, and he's making bookshelves in the suburbs. It's a joke. Her words are supposed to be a balm, but they're not working. They feel hollow, scripted. We hang up, and the silence in my apartment is deafening. The narrative isn't holding up for the first time. I have a tiny, terrifying thought. What if I'm wrong? I spend the rest of the weekend in a fog. I can't stop thinking about the look on his face, that placid, unshakable happiness. He never looked at me like that, not even at the beginning. With me, his face was always animated, engaged, sometimes frustrated, sometimes passionate. We were always debating, dissecting, analyzing. Our relationship was a thesis. With her, his face was just calm, content. I do something I know I shouldn't. I go on Facebook for the first time in years. It's not hard to find him. His profile isn't private. The profile picture is him and Sarah on a mountain, grinning. The banner photo is a beautifully crafted wooden bookshelf filled with books. His work. I scroll. Pictures of them hiking. pictures of them renovating an old house, pictures of him in his workshop covered in sawdust, smiling. There are no long political rants, no shared articles about systemic injustice. It's just a life, a happy, normal life. I find Sarah's profile. It's mostly pictures of flowers from her garden and things she's baked. My first instinct is to sneer, internalized misogyny on display. But as I scroll, I see comments from her friends. "This looks amazing, Sarah. You're so talented. Can't wait to see you guys on Sunday." She has a community. She has friends. She is loved. And then I find it. A post from Alex from about a year ago. It's a picture of Sarah, asleep on the couch, her head in his lap. The caption is simple. "I used to think that love had to be loud, a constant debate, a project, something you had to work on every single second, a problem to be solved. Turns out I was wrong. Love is quiet. It's peace. It's coming home to this. I'm a lucky man." I read it once, twice, 10 times. Every word is a dagger. A project, something you had to work on, a problem to be solved. He's talking about me. He's talking about us. And he's not wrong. I did treat him like a project. My reclamation project. I was going to strip him of his privilege, sand down his problematic edges, and shape him into the perfect, progressive partner. I never stopped to ask if he was happy. I just told him how he should be happy. I pull up my old cloud storage, find the folder of pictures from when we were together. I look at his face. I always thought he looked so serious, so engaged in our pictures, but now, with fresh eyes, I see it. It's not engagement, it's tension. A constant, low-grade stress in his jaw, around his eyes. The look of a man who is constantly afraid of saying or doing the wrong thing. The look of a man walking on eggshells. The look of a man who is tired. That deep, soul-level tired I saw in his eyes towards the end. I close the laptop. I look around my pristine, grey and white apartment. The art on the walls seems pretentious now. The minimalist furniture, cold and uninviting. This isn't the sanctuary of a clear mind. It's a fortress I built to protect myself from the terrifying possibility that my ideology, my entire worldview might not be a source of strength, but a cage. I preached about empowerment, but I bulldozed the person I claimed to love. I demanded emotional labor, but offered no emotional safety. I wanted a partner, but only if he was a mirror of my own beliefs. Alex didn't regress. He escaped. He didn't get stolen by a tradwife. He found a partner, someone who loved him for who he was, not for who she wanted him to be.